people like me. You need people like me so you can point your f***ing fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
De la noche, Stephanie Piñeiro.
Welcome to the motherfucking relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Terrence Crawford on criticism of Devon Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Devon's the youngest undisputed champion in history. A lot of people look at the Ryan Garcia fight and criticize, but Devon kept getting up, kept fighting, showed heart, showed determination. It's our people slandering him. By our people, I don't think he meant the boxing community when he said that. Shakur boxes his way through a fight, our people criticize him. When it's called boxing, I don't care if you hit like a truck or a butterfly. As long as you get the job done, that's all that matters, but it isn't. And boxers need to get that out of their head. The boxers themselves need to erase that mentality, rip that page out of the playbook, because that's not true. How you win matters. You say it's called boxing, but boxing falls under the umbrella of entertainment. That's why people watch it, because they want to be entertained. So if they're not entertained by the way that a boxer boxes, to them, it doesn't really even matter if he wins. Where Terrence says that's all that matters, not to the customers. People ain't falling out of their seats with excitement over Shakur's ring return. I've seen some people say that they could go the rest of their lives without ever seeing him box again because he's boring. They're not obligated to like the way he fights. You can't virtue signal your way through this one using tired old tropes and cliches. It's called boxing. Artur Beterbiev is a boxer. What, is he not boxing because he makes it a point to knock people out? William Zepeda is a boxer. What, is he not a boxer because he makes it a point to throw more than just 3 or 4 or 5 punches in a round? Is he not a boxer? Enough with the guilt trips. The kid is boring, alright? It's a byproduct of his safety-first approach. And if you insist on fighting that way, this is what comes with it. Take the good with the bad. It's the bottom line. Because while you may have your reasons as a boxer for boxing that way, the audience has their reasons for feeling the way that they feel. And you're both entitled. It's a free country. Back over to Devon. Devon has a lot of enemies. Jilted Lomachenko fans that think he robbed Vasyl Lomachenko. Fans of other fighters, essentially. Lomachenko fans, Davis fans, Garcia fans, Ryan Garcia. There are a lot of people that relish the opportunity to take the piss out of him and his father. And that's just the normal stuff you have to deal with. Tack on the optics of his court case, his civil suit, what he's doing. Suing Ryan Garcia for assault and battery in connection with a boxing match? Weak. I don't even like Ryan Garcia, by the way. Anybody that follows this channel will know that. But filing charges against a guy in connection with a boxing match when you're a boxer. Weak. It's not in keeping with the decorum. It's not what the boxing community at large expects from a boxer. They expect a boxer to want it back in blood, to want revenge. The very bad optics. No, it's bad when I find myself agreeing with Teofimo Lopez, who was asked about Devon Haney's court case, how it all looks, what he makes of it. And you know it's bad that I'm agreeing with Teofimo, because I can't stand him either. This is what he said.
To Ryan Garcia, battery, fraud, unjust enrichment. I think that's what the case is about. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think fighters should sue other fighters? Should they get their revenge in the ring?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think Devon just is continually like just taking losses in and out the ring. It's not a good look. It doesn't look well. I mean, it's a turnoff. It gets everybody like kind of in a sense turns everybody off. It keeps them away from wanting to see the next Devon Haney fight by doing those things. Me personally, it's just my opinion. I didn't do that when I got jobbed. When I got jobbed, I didn't do that. I just got back, took care of my hold, and we came back and conquered. That's all you got to do. That's how you earn your respect and how you stay in the people's eye.
Mark makes a valid point that the sooner you get in there, and the sooner you fight, the sooner you put distance between yourself and your last performance, however bad it was. Devon seems to be making the situation worse. Look worse. Did he beat you up that bad that you got to take him to court?
Wow.
Where's your dignity? Where's your guts?
Chump.
Though it's not one way, where Teofimo might have these criticisms to levy against Devon Haney, Bill Haney, Devon's father, he's got some criticisms to levy towards him.
Teofimo Lopez Jr., you done went over there to the Cannon May show and you lying like a... Every opportunity to fight, we put it on the table for you, including an opportunity with Turkey Al-Rashid and your company Top Rank just a couple of months ago. But I'm gonna let you know, and the people, Devon Haney wants to fight you whenever, wherever, including right now. So, let's see what your fat mouth daddy got to say about that.
So this is the part where we try and evaluate whether or not what Bill Haney is saying is true. Is it true that Turkey offered Teofimo Lopez a fight with Devon and Lopez passed? We can do that in order to see who we should assign the blame to. For what it's worth, I've never really thought Teofimo wanted that Devon Haney fight. I don't really think he wants it now, but that's not the point.
What is?
This is all you get from the American boxer. This is all you get. A lot of talkative fathers, not a lot of action, whether it's Devon Haney's dad or Teofimo's dad or Brian Norman's dad up there at 147. Talkative boxing dads. Ryan Garcia's got one. He sometimes shoots off at the mouth. The whole picture. Let's look at the whole picture. What Teofimo Lopez said is not invalidated by Bill Haney's accusations. Nope. The best thing for Devon to do right now is fight. Put distance between himself and his last fight, his last performance, to scrub that from people's memories as best as he can. That's what he should do. Whether it's with Teofimo or somebody else. I see that the rest of the year might come and go, and Devon might not fight again. He might not fight again until next year. That's not good. We're not there yet. There's still time left, but if the rest of the year comes and goes and Devon don't fight again, that's not good. That means that you will have only had one fight this entire calendar year, and this entire calendar year, all you did was get your ass kicked by Ryan.
Jesus Christ.
Devon needs to fight, whether it's against Teofimo Lopez or someone else. He needs to fight. As far as Lopez, whether or not he actually rejected an offer from Turkey, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Another bona fide case of he said, she said. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bored. Aren't you? I'm just bored. Are we supposed to get our titties in a twist over this? Get up in arms, argue with each other for weeks and months on end about whether or not Teofimo ducked Devon? Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But at this point, who even cares?
Boring.
The American boxing scene is boring. Yeah, Lopez should be fighting Devon, and Gervonta should be fighting Lopez.
Lopez is taking the rest of the year off.
In case you forgot. And Devon might too. This crop of youngsters from out of the United States, there are no heroes here. I mean, there's nobody to root for.
Gervonta's a hype job. Lopez is an idiot. Devon's a chump.
Shakur is just boring. Ryan's a train wreck.
Oh my God!
They all suck. I don't need another rousing round of he said, she said between Team Haney and Team Lopez or Team Davis or Team Garcia or the lawyers or...
That was legitness.
Who even has the energy anymore?
Not me.
It all means the same thing. They're not fighting. They are not fighting.
This is supposed to be entertainment. We're supposed to be entertained.
Are you entertained?
Devon's suing Ryan, so he lost a little respect.
Devon's taking those challenges. He doesn't care. He's fighting those unifications. Became undisputed. So what? But he still became undisputed because he challenged himself.
Who did he beat?
Tank hasn't. That's it. That's it. Well, okay. Well, that's what Tank hasn't lost because he hasn't challenged himself.
He fought tough.
And he'll probably beat everybody. He hasn't fought tougher. Shut up. Devon has not. I mean, Tank has not fought tougher than Devon.
Oh, way tougher.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck no.
Had one tough fight and he lost to Loma.
Ellie, shut up.
A lot of us wish he would, because Ellie Seckbach's shameless glazing of Gervonta Davis, for no reason other than Gervonta gives him access.
Get off his dick.
This is a debate, a discussion, because to date, Gervonta Davis has made no effort to fight Devon. And when this goes on for so long, all you can do is compare the guys they did fight. who fought better guys, Gervonta or Devon. Now, Gervonta fought Ryan Garcia, and Devon did too, but under very different circumstances. Gervonta stuck 2 weight clauses on Ryan. You weakened him. I think most level-headed boxing fans will understand that, the role of the weight stipulations that Gervonta stuck on Ryan, whereas when Devon fought him, there were no weight stipulations. He didn't stick any weight clauses on him, didn't handicap him, didn't weaken him. The stand culture that you see in the American boxing scene is anomalous because boxing is actually in decline in America. The market for it is the smallest and the most unstable that it's ever been in this country. And yet you have obsessed fans. Glazers, like Ellie Seckbach, what passes for a pundit, a journalist in the sport today, little more than just a fanboy with a camera. He's been at it for a very long time. He has one of the older YouTube boxing channels in the YouTube boxing community. But so often I hear it said from many a boxing fan that they're nauseated with this guy's behavior. It's disgusting. Though he's not alone, reinforced by other would-be members of the boxing community. Just the other day, we talked about how Dan Canobio was playing Gervonta Davis the violin. He sees people are criticizing Gervonta Davis's fight with Lamont Roach, saying that they don't like it, and Dan was coming to his defense that, well, he tried to fight Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah, after 7 years of ducking him, after 7 years of avoiding him. Tell the whole story, why don't you? I think I saw a thumbnail with Chris Algieri saying that everybody's ducking Gervonta. Ducking Gervonta? What? It's a psyop is what it is. A coordinated, collective effort try to convince the world of boxing that this guy's bigger than what he is, better than what he is. He's supposed to be the face of boxing, except he doesn't sell the most pay-per-views. He doesn't generate the most money in America or anywhere else. He's supposed to be this pound-for-pound great, this pound-for-pound fighter, without a pound-for-pound resume, without pound-for-pound victories, pound-for-pound accolades. They call him a 3-division champion, except he's not a 3-division champion. He's only ever held full titles at 2 weights, not 3. He held a regular title at 140. Regular, not the full, not the world title that Josh Taylor had. If he wanted that one, he should have fought him. If you want us to view him the way you view him, well, these are the people that he should have fought. You don't put any pressure on him to do it because you're going to be in love with him regardless. What's he supposed to be? The DEI face of boxing? The diversity, equity, inclusivity face of boxing? Is that what this is? Are we throwing all the criteria, all the requisites out the window so that people can view Gervonta? Stop it. Let me stop you right there. You can have arguments just like this one till the cows come home, till you're blue in the face. You could do it all day, all week. You're not convincing anyone, and neither is he, because if you were, the numbers for the Frank Martin fight would have been a lot better. The reception for the upcoming Lamont Roach fight, that would have been better too. It's not because he isn't. He isn't who you say he is, what you say he is. You keep arguing with people because they're not convinced. And you know they're not. You want them to come around to your way of thinking, but that's not your job. It's not your job to convince them. It's Gervonta's. By fighting Shakur, by fighting Devon, by fighting Teofimo, that's how he can convince them. Not with these glazers, fanboys, sucking a tip and cupping his balls. Get off your knees. Kiss your mother with that mouth. Get off your knees. It's embarrassing. Does Ellie not have any situational awareness? Does he not know how ridiculous he sounds? Boxing in America fell off, man. That's all I can say. It really, really fell off. That this is what passes for a pundit. Gervonta's what passes for a superstar.
With all of the injuries that he's had, at the age of 39, do you think he's a damaged fighter?
He's a really dangerous fighter for everybody. In his age, he has still good conditioning. He has good power. He has good experience, boxing IQ. And he has 3 belts.
Age, injuries, and all. Artur Beterbiev is still perceived as the most dangerous man at 175 pounds. And he didn't all of a sudden become an injury-prone fighter. He's actually been that way for years, which is likely why it hasn't affected people's perceptions of him. They're used to it now. The delays, the postponements, the wear and tear, and all. This is still viewed as a 50-50 fight that the boxing community at large is split down the middle over. Some people are going with Dimitri, others are going with Artur. Can't blame them. The way I see it, Dimitri Bivol will be the trickiest target that Artur has ever fought. That this is a harder guy to hit than, say, Callum Smith, who we fought earlier this year, or Anthony Yarde, who we fought last year. Anybody. Everybody. This is a more defensively responsible fighter than anybody that Artur has fought so far. More educated boxer than anybody that Artur has fought so far. You might liken Dimitri in this situation to Alexander Vajdik. You might liken this fight to the Vajdik fight. But remember, that fight was some years ago. Artur was a younger man. And before stopping Vajdik, Vajdik was putting up a good fight. Unless I'm mistaken, he was up on the judges' scorecards at the time of the stoppage. I think he was. He's older now. I think speed is what's going to separate them. I think Dimitri has more hand speed than Artur, coupled with defense. Some might expect that Dimitri will look to take something off of Artur's power by staying on the outside of him, sharpshooting. Some might expect that, but that's not what I expect. I think he's going to stay with Artur. I think he's going to stay mid-range. Close enough that he can step in and put some punches in there, but far enough out that he can step out and be out of range. I think he has faster hands than Artur and faster feet. And speed is what's going to separate them. I remember after the Canelo fight, there were a lot of people saying that Dimitri never left first gear with Canelo because he didn't have to. He could have, but he was winning so comfortably, why bother? With Artur, I think he's going to hit that second gear. I think Dimitri Bivol is going to be in rare form. I've noticed in Dimitri's last two fights, he's been a lot more aggressive than he usually is. In the Lyndon Arthur fight, the Malik Zanad fight. Before that, the Zurdo Ramirez fight that he's been putting them together. Where most people would have identified him as a pure boxer, it seems he's been a little bit more than that lately. I expect to see more of that next week. Because in case you're not aware, fight week is upon us. The fight is almost here. Took long enough. If I'm going with Dimitri and not Artur, it's because of his speed, his mobility, and his athleticism. I think that blend. Artur hasn't had to encounter somebody that has all that working for him. Not all at once. Think about Callum Smith. Callum Smith had height and reach. He had size, but he's not the boxer that Dimitri Bivol is. Anthony Yarde had power, but not defense. Marcus Brown showed too much defense, too much respect. He was basically running from Artur Beterbiev. Running away. Joe Smith Jr. was running to Artur Beterbiev, and he ran into a hard counter. So I don't think anybody Artur's fought so far had as much working for them, all at the same time, as Dimitri. And you could argue that the same is true for Artur, that he has a lot working for him too. But he's the guy that's 39. He's the guy who's injury prone. As stated, I don't think anybody Artur's fought so far had as much working for them at the same time as Dimitri. The closest parallel would be Alexander Vajdik, but that was years ago. And if it were a few years ago, I'd pick Artur to win the fight. But a few years later, I'm going with Dimitri.